There is a brand new premium compact in town from Panasonic, the TZ300. What's new? Where does it sit in the lineup? And could this be a great tiny travel solution for 2026? Let's get stuck in. So this is my personal favourite premium compact from Lumix. It's the LX10/LX15 and it has a 1-inch sensor. With the TZ300, it's kind of like, what if this camera had 15 times zoom? What an interesting prospect, because the TZ300, the new one, has a 1-inch sensor, which is also backside illuminated, so should theoretically be pretty good in low light, but it has 15 times zoom. So where does this new camera sit in the lineup? I see the Lumix premium compacts in sort of 3 stages. At the bottom, we have the TZ99 style of camera, which is just zoom, zoom, zoom at the expense of everything else. I was not shy about not being a fan of that camera. I'm told it's sold like hotcakes all around the world, so what the heck do I know? But it's not for me. Next up, we have a 2-tier approach. We have the LX15 style cameras, which has the 1-inch sensor and a very fast Leica branded lens, but not much zoom. And then the TZ300, which has the 1-inch sensor, but 15 times zoom. So it's sort of the middle ground between the TZ99 and an LX15. That's where it sits in the lineup.
So I came out today to get some test shots, and in all honesty, at the start of the day, it was a very grey day in Liverpool and it wasn't too inspiring. But I thought as a plan B, I would head into like the arcade and try some low light shots and something a little bit more challenging. I think these turned out quite well. And my husband is a wizard with the grabby machines. It took him 1 attempt to get this massive teddy, and now we have to carry it round all day. In fact, he is leaning on it right now, so now I am a proud owner of a massive teddy bear. I have to say, what caught me off guard is how much fun the zoom is, man. Like 15 times sounds quite a lot, but when you actually see it in practice, it's huge. And if you are a timid street photographer like I am sometimes, if you see something over in the distance, you can just zoom in and be really incognito. I saw this gentleman like reading a newspaper outside of the station, and I thought it was a great shot, and I was quite far back to get this. Whereas if I'd have had like my usual 40mm lens, I'd have had to get in his face and it would have been a bit weird. So I think the zoom is really fun for day-to-day photography.
The TZ300 has a 24mm to 360mm equivalent lens, and the aperture is f3.3 to f6.4, so it's not the fastest in the world. This is of course an update from the TZ200. What's new, and is the upgrade worth it? Well, first of all, and predictably, we do have a USB-C port now on the new one, which gives you on-the-go charging, and you know, it just makes things modern and where it needs to be. The 20-megapixel 1-inch sensor is now backside illuminated, as I've said, and the benefits of a BSI sensor is it's just a little bit better in low light. And there's also a little bump with the stabilization as well. This series of cameras has 5-axis hybrid stabilization, and now we have a little plus on the spec sheet. So there's been a bump somewhere, but I'm going to test it in the real world just to see. We're supposed to even be able to film 4K and walk with it and get decent stabilization, which we'll see. Let's look at the test footage. For me personally, with these premium compacts, I'm not terribly fussed about the video. It's nice to have. For me, I valued the stabilization for when you are at the longer focal lengths to keep the camera steady, and also to do handheld long exposures for traffic trails and things like that. So the stabilization is a great benefit for both photo and video. One new addition, or perhaps subtraction, the EVF is now gone. We no longer have it. The TZ200 had an EVF and this one doesn't. When you couple that with the fact that the screen doesn't articulate, I do think it's a backward step, and it's the thing that I'm most disappointed about with this camera.
Oh, to have an articulating screen in moments like this. I've got my mate Axel over here and I want to get some video of him. So I'm stuck standing up like this. And even if I get low, like it's still a bit of a pain in the backside. So I've not overly missed the EVF today just because it's been so overcast, but I really have missed an articulating screen. Love Axel though. He's such a great model. For the low light shots now, I'm seeing how low I can get my shutter speed. I'm going to try 1/10 of a second. So I might be able to sit down for this actually. And that's perfectly sharp. So the stabilization really does the job in low light. It's really fun to play with. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And the flash is really good too. I'm going to take a flash photo of him. He might be in every video from now on.
So not having an articulating screen and not having an EVF, I do think is a backward step for this camera, unfortunately. In terms of size, the LX15 is smaller and lighter, but the TZ300 is very pocketable indeed. It's ideal, you know, if you have a family camera that you want to stick in the backpack or in a purse. It's really good for that and very versatile. And because it does have the Lumix menus, it's very modern and very user friendly. So it's great for the whole family to use if that's the sort of camera that you're looking for. But a family camera isn't the whole story. It's not just good for the Kodak moments. I think because you do have the 1-inch sensor, which I have put through its paces in the LX15, I love a 1-inch sensor. You can get loads of great detail and it does shoot RAW as well. So this is a good sweet spot with like, maybe you're a person who wants a camera to document your family life, but you also want it to like take street photography and take photography more seriously. The TZ300 would be ideal because you have full manual settings, it does shoot RAW, you've got the stabilization, and the sensor is great with plenty of dynamic range in the RAW files.
I think for a general population kind of release, it's really good. For a Lumix fangirl and a street photography fangirl, I wish Lumix would just put a bit more in, you know? Like if this sort of form factor and this zoom had the real-time LUT feature, for example, so you could put your own presets onto the JPEGs, if you could have access to the Lumix Lab app with something like this, it would be incredible. And I imagine like general person who goes into like a shop and buys it because of the 15 times zoom won't notice the value of it. But people like me and you who are camera nerds would think it's the coolest thing ever. So I'm really sad that there's no real-time LUT. That would have made it from like a pretty decent upgrade to like, oh my God, this is something that people need as like a secondary camera or something to throw in your bag. So that is a real shame.
So what about the price? It's currently listed at £869, which is quite spenny, but I think to be expected. Most new cameras are coming out a little bit hot these days. And does that mean that maybe the TZ200 is now a bargain on the used market? Well, as of today, unfortunately not. Because there's so few premium compacts that fill this sort of need in the market, the TZ200 has really held its value. You know, if you really want the EVF, maybe look at the TZ200, but otherwise you're probably better off buying the new and updated version. And let me just answer the question, is this camera for me? I think if you do want to take some more serious photographs with the TZ300, you absolutely can. There's tons of detail in that 1-inch sensor, and the 15 times zoom is really convenient as well. I'm not too fussed about zoom. I mean, particularly for like what I like to shoot, I'd rather have a high quality, faster aperture lens like the LX15. But if you're the kind of person that would value a bit of zoom and versatility, then this is a great option. In terms of build quality, it's lovely, it does the job. I think it's quite a stylish, modern looking camera. And I think for the price and for what it offers, it is a very interesting proposition indeed. Is it for me? Possibly not, though I would like to take it to a concert and see what I can get out of it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Is this a really strong, tiny travel camera for 2026? Or is this one that you would skip? Let me know what you think, and if you would skip it, what would you buy instead? And if you want a laugh, watch my TZ99 review. Yeah.